I'm Jackie.
And I'm Davey.
And this is Weekend Hangover. Woohoo!
Hi, folks. Welcome. We're a little late today, but it's what it is. Come on. Everybody's on a schedule. We on our schedule. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's okay. There's football on, and that's all gay. I mean, and it's okay. Madison went to the Jets game yesterday, and I'm like, well, and she's like, it's $8 a ticket. And I'm like, well, that's the Jets. Of course it's $8 a ticket. Oh yeah.
Man.
It went down. Okay. I'm going to try to do the rumble again. Remove.
Okay.
But we can keep
going. I'm not
going.
going to touch anything. I'm going to let you just figure it out.
That's fine.
So anyway, so it's funny that you say that she went to the Jets game because I actually watched just a little bit of Hard Knocks on Max. And Hard Knocks is about the Jets this season.
Yeah, just because they think they got Aaron Rodgers, they think they're the fucking bee's knees now. Listen, they got to relax. They still don't have any wide receivers or anything like that, so. But
well, I don't know anything about any of that, so I was just like, "Oh, that's funny," because I just watched that, and that's about it. So, well, okay. So, if you have been watching us on Business Party Podcast, we've been talking about how we're going to do Jersey Shore this week, but things have changed.
Yes.
But things have changed. We want to do its due diligence, I guess, when it comes to Jersey Shore. Both of us who have come from Jersey.
Because it's something near and dear to both our hearts.
Yeah, we can't just flippantly put something together for you all.
Yeah, we can't just throw it out there like, here's the Jersey Shore. No, this is something that is
dear to our hearts, to us growing up from children to non-functioning adult children.
Listen, it's something that like we really shouldn't be proud of, but we are so proud of it because it's just. The thing is, like,
weird.
it's our growing up. You know, all of us went to the shore. Everybody after prom, everybody went to the shore. You know, they went. Well, I didn't really go with my family. I didn't go to the shore until I was 17 or 16. And then after that, like, my friend Teresa, she's from the shore, so you know we'd go down with them, and you know. Like later on in life, but yeah, everybody went down. I went down to the shore 4 proms in a row because I went to 2 other ones. One before my senior year, one before I could go to prom, and one after high school. Which now that I think about it is kind of weird, but whatever. I was young, but yeah. But I think it was only a year after high school, or 2. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, we all went down the shore, and so like all that stuff that you see, like the Sopranos. Every time I watch the Sopranos, I'm always watching to see everything the way it goes. Or Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm always there trying to see where they are and stuff like that. And it's so funny that when you watch it and you're like, wait a minute, that's after this. Why is it before? Makes no sense. But yeah, I mean, we all. Let me see. Hopefully this works. Okay, this should work.
Okay.
We all grew up there. So, and you know, it's pork roll versus Taylor ham. I mean, this is just the New Jersey debate of a lifetime, you know?
Pork roll.
Yeah, that's what people who are wrong say.
Oh my God, just because the product is from the Taylor company? No.
What do you call Band-Aids? What are Band-Aids?
They're Band-Aids.
What's the name? What's the brand name of Band-Aids?
Oh, shut up.
I'm stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid stuck on me. Exactly.
There's no other brand. What is it? Give me another brand of Band-Aids.
CVS.
But in all fairness to your argument, can you give me another brand of pork roll? Because I can't either.
No, it's it, like ShopRite, A&P. And you know what's funny? Like those, I didn't realize like stores, like food stores are like local. Like they don't have, I mean, A&P's out or Stop and Shop. They don't have Stop and Shops out here. They don't have, you know, like
remember Acme?
Yeah, they don't have that out here.
Acme. Oh, remember in the olden, I call it the olden days.
Back in the olden days,
they had Pathmark.
Yep.
I remember as a kid going to Pathmark, and we'd always get the Pathmark Oreos, but and like one side was chocolate and the other side was vanilla, and it had like the cream in the center, and it had like the Pathmark logo on it, where like
growing up, I was a bad thief. Like,
oh my God.
I'm like, we're not like bad, like as in like really bad. Like I like stole the dumbest.
You weren't the best.
No, I stole the dumbest shit. So we had a food town in our hometown, and I used to steal potato chips and cookies because my mom would never get the good kind. My mom would always buy like the Pop-Tarts with no sugar in them, the worst kind of Oreos and all that stuff. So,
do they even make the Pop-Tarts without the sugar on them anymore?
Yeah, without the frosting. Yeah,
I've not seen them ever.
It's because you live in the South, and they're like, "Fuck that! None of us are eating that shit."
I know, that's probably true.
But like, yeah, I used to steal like the good cookies and shit like that, and then I used to steal pens. Like really nice. I told you I was the best fucking thief. I didn't steal like, I stole cool shit that I couldn't get. Like, this is why I have all this shit, is because as a kid, my parents didn't get me the things that I wanted. My grandfather did. But like, you know, my parents didn't get me the shit I wanted as a kid. So now I have a room full of shit I want, you know? But yeah, so I used to steal cookies and potato chips, and I thought I was a good thief. I used to walk out going, they don't have anything I want here. The lady probably looked down and was like, little fat kid's just taking cakes. Poor fat kid. But yeah, speaking of fat kids, Michael Oher.
Oh my gosh. Was he big? I mean, he was just like big, like tall, big.
Listen, according to all of this stuff, it's all a lie. No.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get into it, so that little tangent we were just on, we were going to do Jersey Shore, but we felt like we needed to take the time to do it right. And so instead, we're actually going to be talking about this whole Michael Oher Blindside situation that has been out this week. It just came out on Monday. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. So what were you going to say about it?
Nothing. No, I'm just stuffing pizza in my mouth as you talk. That's all.
Well, okay. So I'll just do like a little backstory-ish on it by bringing up this because this is the first story I saw on it. And it was a People magazine article that came out on Monday. So I don't know if oh yeah, it works. Okay. Woo. I just hooked up my mouse, people. So
there you go.
Really excited. I'm getting really technical here. So Michael Oher, who inspired the Blindside movie, which won, and I want to believe Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for her portrayal of Leanne Toohey. Well, anyway, so the alleges that the family made millions while lying about adopting him. It said in a legal filing on Monday, the retired NFL star alleged the family tricked him into signing a conservatorship paper when he was 18 years old. So it goes on to say, Michael Oher, who's Life inspired the Oscar-nominated film The Blind Side filed a legal petition to terminate a conservatorship on Monday, alleging that Leanne Toohey and Sean Toohey lied about adopting him while making millions off his name. In the filing Monday in Shelby County, Tennessee, probate court, the 37-year-old retired football player claimed the Toohey family tricked him into making them his conservators when he was 18, allegedly telling him there was no consequential difference between being adopted and entering into a conservatorship. So he knew it was a conservatorship, but he thought it was because, like, what they're saying is because he was 18 when they did it, I think in their minds it's like, oh, we can't adopt him, but if we put him in a conservatorship, they'll still, I don't know. But basically in the petition, it talked about how he didn't realize that being in a conservatorship didn't mean he had a familial tie to the Tuohys. It's all just like, I guess, like illegal stuff. I don't know. What?
I almost said it.
Said what?
They own him. They try to own him.
Well, yeah. I mean, so in here it said Michael trusted the Tuohys and signed where they told him to sign. The legal filing obtained by People Monday morning claims like what he signed, however, and unknown to Michael until February of 2023, were not adoption papers or the equivalent of adoption papers.
Yeah, because they try to own. It just said, "Here, sign these papers so we can own you." That's so wrong. I mean, but like we have also to talk about like Britney Spears and Bam Margera and all them. It's kind of the same thing. So like you could still own people. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's
fucking
crazy.
Really weird.
Well, this is the part that's really messed up though too. I'll say so in 2004, the conservatorship, the 2004 conservatorship filing, also reviewed by People, shows that Oher signed the papers despite being 18 years old at the time and having no known physical or psychological disabilities that would more often lead to a legal adult to agree to a conservatorship.
So wait, so you need some kind of like mental, physical, or something like that in order to be,
Yeah. So when you look into like the whole Britney Spears situation, or you look into like the Bam Margera situation, and the best one is Amanda Bynes.
Oh God.
You know, they say because they have a psychological disorder. That's why, like, I think it was after like they said Britney Spears went crazy, and she went to the mental hospital or whatever, and then she was placed in a conservatorship when she shaved her head and all this other stuff. And so they said part of it was that they were saying that she couldn't take care of herself at all, but then yet she was still making people millions and millions and millions of dollars. So
I mean, it's so fucked up. It really, like, how could you just take somebody's power away from them like that? A grown adult should be able to, like, and she had kids. Like, that's what's weird about, like, she had kids. She's a mother. Somebody owned her.
Yeah.
Like, so do they own the kids? Like, what?
No.
And I feel so bad, man.
Yeah. In the description box area, I placed 2 videos in there. One from the channel That Surprise Witness. She does really great stuff on conservatorships, and she was really big into the Free Britney movement. Huh?
Her name's BJ.
Yeah. It's like Britney something. Yeah. So she does videos on it. She did a whole video and that I have in the description going over the petition to get rid of the conservatorship. So she goes through the whole thing if y'all are interested in looking at that. And then the second video I put in there too is from Emily D. Baker, and she's a lawyer also, and she went through the petition as well and gave their takes. So, because we are not lawyers and don't know shit.
It's funny because I was talking to one of the ladies at work, and her son he just took the bar to be a lawyer, and like she was saying to me the same thing I've been saying for years. Like, it doesn't matter what school you go to; it's the same law. So it doesn't matter what law school you go to; it's still this, you know. And she was like talking about the difference. It was like, I think where he went to Washburn, it was 22 or 26,000 a semester.
Mm-hmm.
So to do Washburn, like this little kind of / big college in the middle of in Kansas, 26,000. Could you imagine what it is a semester to go to Yale or Harvard?
Oh my God!
And just to practice the same, like what better education do you get at Harvard? And that's what I was kind of telling Matt.
I think part of it's a part of the prestige and connections. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Being part of the Black Label Society.
Yeah, that's why I feel like every politician is like, oh, well, I went to Harvard law school.
W went to Harvard or Yale, whatever it is. Hey,
Yale.
You want look at this? You want to see me do cocaine? Watch this magic trick, guys. It's gone.
I'm gonna do it in a coffin with a skeleton. Mm-hmm.
I will never. Oh my God! I know. We always go off into tangents, but I really. This has got to be my favorite. Come on, you son of a gun! This has got to be my favoriteest thing in the entire world. I mean, this is the best thing ever. What? You missed me. You missed me.
Oh my goodness.
He threw his shoe at him. Like, a lot of people have forgotten that, by the way. A lot of people forgot that Bush got shoes thrown. Hey, you missed me. But yeah.
I don't remember what that was for, to be honest with you.
I
was too young.
Yeah. I was probably in college when that happened. Probably after what was it? When did you get in? 2002? No, that was
no. It was 2000. 98? No, it's 2000.
Yeah, I was. He was 1 year in on 9/11. That's it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he was only what 6-7 months in. Something like that. He got inaugurated in January.
Yeah.
2001.
Yeah.
Insane. Well, yeah. Anyway.
But Michael Oher. I know we went off on a tangent, but it just, the 6 degrees of
and the zags and the,
I mean, listen, anytime I want to just put that on loop sometime and just put it at the end of the show. Oh man. But yeah, so Michael Oher.
Yeah. So his petition, this is what's kind of weird. So back in 2000, I think they said to put him in a conservatorship, he signed it in December of 2004. I don't know if before then had he already committed to going to Ole Miss, or was it before? Because I don't remember when he graduated from high school. I think it was 2005 or something.
2000. It says so in the People magazine one where the Sean Toohey speaks up about Blindside. I'll share that real quick. It says, according to the petition filed August 14th, shall be probate. court obtained by people other alleged unknowingly authorized to conservatorship in 2004 when he was 18. We're devastated, upset, but we're going to love Michael at 37 just like we loved him at 16. So I guess he was 16 when they got him.
Yeah. Basically, the story is that he, like, on and off, he had been, like, staying at the Tuohy's and other people's places, but it wasn't until I think it was his junior year of high school that he started staying there consistently. And
so that would have been in 2002.
No.
It was 2004 when he was 18 in 2004. So
yes,
if he was 16,
he was okay. So he was behind. Was behind 2 grades. So when he graduated, he was, I think, 19.
Okay.
From high school. So I'm just trying to figure out when he graduated from high school, because, like, sorry.
I mean, if it was 19, then he was 2005 then.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was in college at Ole Miss from 2005 to 2008.
Okay.
So, yeah, so then he graduated in 2005. So if in December of 2004, it would have been his senior year of high school that he signed a conservatorship. And I'm wondering, well, did he sign that before or after he committed to Ole Miss? But I know that in the Sean Tuohy article that came out, that he said that the NCAA. Okay, so Sean Tuohy is saying that the reason why they did,
or the father, Sean.
Father.
Okay,
Sean,
the father.
SJ is the son.
Okay.
Now,
that's right.
The father, for all intents and purposes, said that the NCAA was having an issue with Michael just living at their house and them not having any legal guardianship, through adoption or whatever, and then him going to Ole Miss or going to a school. So Sean Tuohy's explanation is that they did the conservatorship so he could go to Ole Miss and the NCAA wouldn't give them any issue.
I mean, listen.
But why not just? But here's the thing. So they also said that, I don't know when it passed in Tennessee or what, but I was watching one of the ladies that I linked in the bottom, and in the state of Tennessee, you can legally adopt someone who's over the age of 18. So whatever legal advice that they were getting, they weren't told that they could. I'm speculating that they couldn't adopt him, and then why would they put him in a conservatorship?
I don't think that legal advice was they couldn't adopt him. I think if you want to get, from my feeling, they didn't want to adopt him. They wanted the conservatorship because they knew what they had, but they also helped him in the same token. So it's like it's a double-edged sword, because they took him in, and from what I watched in the movie, of course, I don't know what the whole thing was, and I got to listen to Michael's story. I know we have a clip from it. He said he could read. And what, let me play the clip. I have BJ's thing up. Hold on. Shoot. Yeah, I have BJ's thing. I thought I had because from what he said, that a lot of the stuff in the story was not true.
Yeah, he was basically saying that they depicted him like he was an idiot. Like he didn't know how to read, he didn't know how to write, and he was saying it wasn't that. It was just that he knew how he could be smart, but he wasn't given the opportunities in school to actually learn. So the movie depicted him like he was stupid, And so it also reflected in how people treated him in the locker room.
Listen, I don't know. Give me a couple million. I'd act out any way you wanted me to act out. Oh yeah, I know Reed. We know good. Excuse me, sir. I'm 10 years old. It's okay. It's okay. I know. I stupid. And then go home and just be like, yo, these people think I'm fucking dumb.
I think the biggest for me is.
Oh, go ahead.
It was what?
No, go ahead.
No. What were you saying? Because you're gonna forget. You're gonna forget.
No. Well, I already forgot it, so it's okay.
That's even better.
Being portrayed, not being able to read or write. When you go into a locker room and your teammates don't think you can learn a playbook, that weighs heavy on someone. And I understand that the movie has given me a position. I'm honored to have the position it's given me, but you have to understand, before I moved in with the family, I was an All-American. That's what I want the generations behind me to see in this book right here, to understand that you don't have to have someone save you and rescue you to go out and be successful. You got every tool in you. And this book right here is a playbook on life. Looking yourself in the mirror when I was 11, 12-year-old kid, telling myself, hey, everyone around you is even in an even worse situation that you're in. So you're going to have to get up and do this thing yourself, and developing a routine right then when I could have given up at 11, 12-year-old.
I mean, okay. He's trying to sell a book, okay? And he does what everybody else does when they're trying to sell a book, and just throw everybody under the fucking bus. Is what everybody who tries to do that, it just, I could have done it myself. No, you couldn't have, sir. You couldn't have. Nobody was. I don't think many people were looking at you. I understand you're a smart, intelligent person, but look at the gifts that God had given you. He gave you the TUIs, all right? Is it shitty that did they give him what he was deserved? Probably not. But they felt like, they're rich people, and rich people feel like they deserve everything. So, but to sit there and say that that they are bad people for helping you out it's a Colin Kaepernick. It really is. It's a Colin Kaepernick where.
But it's not. But it's different. Like, how? He had a conservatorship.
I understand that. I understand that, and they did the conservatorship because it was
weird. Because I'm actually trying to find the actual filing, and from Shelby County, and I can't right now. Okay, here it is. Never mind. I got it. Okay. Well, no. Okay. All right, so here's what's weird. So in a conservatorship, every year you're supposed to file accounting of like the money coming, like where the money's going when it comes to this person who's under a conservatorship. There's no accounting filings for the 19 years that this guy has been underneath the conservatorship. Nothing.
Whoa, he's not. Whoa, 19 years he's been under this thing?
Yes, since 2004.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought like that was done after a couple 19 years. So they got well, maybe I'm wrong, Michael. Maybe I'm wrong, Michael. Go get yours.
What's weird is that they're the conservators, so Leanne and Sean are supposed to file accounting every year of like what they're doing with his money. If they are actually, because part of me feels like they did put him underneath the conservatorship, but they just didn't do anything with it. That's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to file all this accounting type of stuff, and the only money that he's talking about not getting has something to do with the Blindside movie. It has nothing to do with anything else, because he also signed a contract back in 2007 with 20th Century Fox for they wanted to like it was a shit contract talking about like they'll have the rights to his likeness, his voice, his story.
That's what they all do.
Until he but before the draft, right? The NFL draft, right? In 2008 or whatever. And everything afterwards is like, it was something different. But he has written 2 books now, and Fox hasn't gone after him for any that we know of at this point, hasn't gone after any money from him about it. So it's strange that there is no accounting for any type of monies beside like NFL money that I got from the NFL or anything or any other type of endorsements and stuff. But there's still a lot of weird things about this. The person
it is Tennessee.
Well, the person that they had who was like the lawyer that filed for the conservatorship was this woman Debbie, and they like the Tuohys were so close to her that they called her Aunt Debbie. And when the book, the Blindside book, which by the way was written by one of Sean Tuohy's childhood friends back in 2006, once that guy picked up by Fox to adapt it into a movie, the Tuohys and the kids themselves is in the filing, the petition that Michael Oher's lawyer put out said that the Tuohy family had a CAA lawyer take care of all the negotiations, while Michael's negotiations for the Fox thing was through the Debbie lawyer, Aunt Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's claiming that he didn't get anything from the Blindside movie at all, while the Tuohys each got like $250,000 a piece plus 2.5% on residuals. So I don't know. It's strange.
It's so messed up. It's messed up, man. The poor guy, and that's why Bert Kreischer never put out his story, The Machine, that's out now, which I need to see. Because they did the same thing. They tried to buy that story from him a long time ago, and they told him, we are going to buy your likeness, your everything, your voice, everything, and then they own it. Then they own you. And that's a lot of people do when they do these documentaries and stuff about these people. Like, they own you. That's it. You can't do anything else to make money because whoever you have that contract with has the right. That's why a lot of like movie stars and all that, they can't change their hair color. They can't cut their hair without, because they are owned by the studios, and they have to do certain things with their bodies. Man, it's a weird thing. It really is. But people will do this stuff for the money. They will do this stuff for the money, and money is what changes people. Like it's a great story of a guy who was taken in by a family and then goes and he's a success story. Great story. But the fact that they're trying to screw him on all of this is messed up. Is absolutely messed up. It's him. Yeah. It's him. It's his story. And you're gonna do this to this guy?
What I'm gonna put in the chats right now is the link to the actual petition that he sent, that they filed on Monday.
How do I open it?
It's 26 pages.
Oh, it's 26 pages?
Yeah, it's 26 pages.
Put it in the private chat so I can open it up.
Oh.
I
should do that.
But here is, I guess I'll put this little thing from the from ABC. Let's see. Maybe it'll have a little bit more.
The allegation. The 2009 hit The Blind Side is one of the most beloved movies of all time. It's based on the real-life story of a Tennessee football player named Michael Oher, who was living in foster care until his life changed forever when he was taken in by a local family. The film was nominated for Best Picture, and Sandra Bullock won for Best Actress. But this week, what had been a story of overcoming the odds took a new twist when Oher made the allegation it was all based on a lie. Jesse Kirsch explains in our Sunday Focus.
This team is your family, Michael. You have to protect them from those guys.
It was. Can I say?
Oh yeah,
Sandra,
that was another thing that he said. He's like, they made me look like I didn't know how to play football at all, and he's like, I was learning plays and knew that stuff forever.
Yeah, he was like, I was already an All-American.
Yeah, like he was playing on the football team before the Tuohys took him in. Like he was at that school since he was like a freshman or sophomore. I think like a sophomore or whatever. So he had already been playing on the team for a year.
Huh.
A Hollywood tale about becoming family. But now, the real-life Michael Oher says the world was blind to what was really going on. In court documents filed Monday, the former NFL star alleged that the Tuohys, the family who took him in, quote, have falsely and publicly represented themselves as the adoptive parents of Michael, claiming that in reality, Sean and Leanne Tuohy cheated him out of money from the film The Blind Side by becoming his conservators instead.
We'd like to become your legal guardians. What's that mean?
This despite writing in his 2012 book, I Beat the Odds, since I was already over the age of 18 and considered an adult by the state of Tennessee, Sean and Leanne would be named as my legal conservators. They explained to me that it means pretty much the same thing as adoptive parents. Oher says he learned of what his filing calls the lie of Michael's adoption to his chagrin and embarrassment just 6 months ago.
Legally, what's the difference between a conservatorship and adoption?
Adoption is the legal process by which you take someone and make them a family member. A conservatorship is really that person handing over their business affairs to be managed by somebody else with their power and authority.
Attorney Randall Fishman represents the Tuohy family.
So basically, they're his power of attorney. Basically,
no, it's more than that. It's yes and no.
Okay,
is what I'll say to that. Yes and no.
But they're the ones who are making all the legal.
Well, yes, but also medical.
What do you mean?
Like they would have charge of all his medical decisions as well.
So if like he didn't feel like
think about Britney Spears. So in Britney Spears's case, they said that she wasn't allowed to have a baby. She was put on birth control, even though that she didn't want to. There were medications that she didn't want to take, but she was forced to take them because in the conservatorship, it's not just legal; it's also your medical as well. And I know with power of attorneys as well. Sometimes too, it could do medical things, but there is a difference. That's all I know.
Family.
What is the family feeling right now?
Total devastation. He had housing, he was clothed, they brought him vehicles, let alone the emotional support.
But that doesn't mean you could take 18 years of his life just because they bought him a vehicle.
That's the thing that I think is really weird. Is like, did they actually, I don't know, like use the conservatorship as in like enforcing it? Because why would it take him? My husband made a really great point to me. He's like, this guy's been playing football for how long? And he's had sports agents, which are pretty much lawyers that go over your contracts and stuff. Like, so why would he not know like the extent of it?
Well,
was he not making decisions? Like, was Sean Tuohy like his manager at the time? So maybe maybe he was thinking, oh, because he's my manager, not because it was underneath the conservatorship. Like, there's more that we all need to know.
And also what could happen is they could find an agent that would shut his mouth. You know what I mean? They just say, this is what we have. This is what we have. This is what we have. This is nothing, none of your business. And
give him another 10%.
Yeah. Yeah. Collins is hot. I'm sorry. She is smoking hot. I wonder what happened to Collins. By the way, played by Phil Collins' daughter. Kind of weird.
That is weird. Are you there? Oh, I thought. So I wanted to I just want to say, so it says here on this site,
I didn't
go ahead.
I didn't put it on. Sorry. I forgot I removed it.
I was like, hello.
The emotional support, etc., that a parent owes a child as he steps into adulthood.
The family claims the conservatorship was meant to ensure Ohr's NCAA eligibility at the University of Mississippi.
Any extra benefit that Michael would have gotten from Sean makes him ineligible because he is a supporter of the university. That's why it's there. That's the only reason why it's there.
Ohr made more than $34 million during his roughly decade playing in the NFL, according to Spot Track. But the Tuohys claim he...
Now this is why the NFL is so messed up. Linemen get hit on every single play. He played for a decade and only made $34 million. Most quarterbacks make that in a freaking year. And this dude had to spend a decade making $34 million. The NFL is really messed up. It really is. It's just,
baseball contracts are grotesque.
Yeah.
They're like in the hundreds of millions, and you're like, what the fuck?
You got a center fielder making $100 million a year to sit there around and go, oh, yeah. Hey, guys, how are you? Hi. Yeah, I'm making $100 million.
He could probably weed eat out there and no one noticed.
Yeah. And poor Michael Oher, a decade, $34 million. A quarterback that wins the freaking Super Bowl will make that at the Super Bowl with everything.
Right.
He tried to shake them down for $15 million before going public. A source close to the family tells NBC News the Tuohys only received about $700,000 from the Blindside, money meant to be split evenly among family members, including Ohr. The Tuohys' legal team also says the couple's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, waving off the idea they'd keep money from someone they loved as a son. This week's controversy renewing the debate over movies like The Blind Side, where so-called white saviors come to the rescue of black people. Robin Autry is a professor of sociology at Wesleyan University.
Sure, there can be some good intentions, there can be some affection, there could be some genuine care and love, but that doesn't mean that there can't also be something exploitative going on. We want a wider range of stories to be told and told from different viewpoints.
Shitty People is not based on color, lady. Jesus. Shitty people are shitty people. It doesn't matter what color you are. God.
A film that once appeared to have a happy Hollywood ending, now being viewed by many through a new lens.
Jesse is joining us now live. Hey, Jesse, it's good to see you this morning. We've learned that some of this apparently has been playing out behind closed doors, but now that this has all been made public, where does this go? What happens next?
Yeah, Hallie, good to be with you. Bottom line, we know Michael Oher wants this conservatorship to end. The Tuohys' attorney tells me that the couple is happy to get this done when Michael Oher's legal team wants, as quickly as they want. So that is still playing out, but there are questions about why this hadn't been terminated years ago. All of that, meanwhile, we know that Michael Oher has had his own criticisms of The Blind Side over the years, particularly how he was portrayed in the film. So all of that has been playing out very publicly in recent days. We've reached out to Oher for an interview. He declined to sit down with us. However, his legal team has said in a statement that it believes, quote, justice will be served in the courtroom, and we hope to get there quickly. Hallie?
Jesse, thank you.
So another part of that whole thing is that the conservatorship was supposed to end by the time he was 25 or when the court decided to terminate, and the court never decided to terminate. I wanted to bring this up because I don't understand what the difference is between a power of attorney and a conservatorship is. So let's figure it out together, y'all.
That's dude is Brutus.
All right. So what is a power of attorney? Grounding a power of attorney is a voluntary act, which is essential to consider when evaluating the difference between a conservatorship and a power of attorney. Essentially, a power of attorney is a document that legally authorizes someone to act on behalf of the person creating it. So basically, you're the one that's saying, I need a power of attorney. And then you appoint one. So we've referred to this person acting on behalf of someone else as an agent or attorney in fact. If a person creating the power of attorney can no longer act, the agent they appoint can do so for them and even enter transactions as proxy. Okay.
Okay, so basically that means if that person can't make up their own decision, then the power of attorney takes over and they make the decision.
Right.
Where I'm basically going to think that the conservatorship is just you have total control. And wait, there goes key differences.
Yeah. So I'll just go with, when assessing so they're both legal relationships. However, court orders establish a conservatorship. Okay. Essentially, and obtaining a conservatorship requires filing a petition and undergoing a formal court proceeding. Because of this, there are more steps to creating a conservatorship, and there is significant burden of proof that a person is incapacitated. There is significant burden of proof that a person is incapacitated. The person appointed to oversee this care is called a conservator. The scope of responsibility can vary depending on the circumstances, and it can even include making financial decisions and living arrangements for the benefit of the conservatoree. A conservator must file annual accountings and manage conservatee's finances, investments, and even real estate portfolios, all of which require an expert fiduciary financial advisor to execute their obligations correctly. So,
wow, how did they? Ooh.
There are a lot of people who should be in trouble for this.
Yeah.
The lawyer who set it up, the judge that approved it. You have to be physically, mentally, emotionally, physically incapacitated for a conservatorship.
I mean, I get Britney Spears. I get Amanda Bynes and Bam Margera. Bam Margera can't even he's been an alcoholic drunk his entire life. So I get why people would say he's
that doesn't mean that all of your rights should be taken away, that you can't even make decisions for yourself, at all. That's fucked up.
But I mean, how did they get this? I'm just how did they get that passed?
I don't know. So here's the key differences. The power of attorney, it can be revoked at any time. It's voluntary. There is no formal process to assign a power of attorney except for signing a POA form. POAs require little to no cost. It can only be set up before a grantor is incapacitated. Similarly, a conservatorship also has several distinguishing features. These differentiating features include: it is a legal order the judge makes. Establishing one is much more expensive. Establishing it requires filing a formal petition and going to court. It strips all legal rights from someone and assigns their rights to a third party. It offers broader authority. A conservatee cannot override or contradict decisions made by a conservator. The conservatee cannot revoke the conservatorship. This requires a court order. It is established after a conservatee is incapacitated.
So so power of attorney is before, and this one's after.
Yes.
Wow. This is bad. This is really bad. For everybody who's in the conservatorship, everybody, if this goes the way it should go, this is going to blow the doors off a lot. This is going to blow the doors off a lot. Everybody who's like, this seems illegal. Because they're not incapacitated. You're allowed to be a shitty human being and make shitty decisions. You're allowed to do that. But like
I know.
My mind is so blown. I got a headache. I got dizzy from that. Like, that is, like, I mean,
yeah. Well, I can't believe I just,
so a little bit, I was kind of reading, that's what I was reading a little bit of the petition for the conservatorship, and it has some of the answers that we were looking for in there. So in the late summer of 22, is it? Okay, yeah, in the late summer of 22, a kind man named Tony Henderson, the father of Michael's friend, witnessed firsthand Michael's focus and drive the pursuit of better life. It took it upon himself to find a school that would agree to provide Michael with a decent education. Mr. Henderson introduced Michael to the principal at Briarcrest Christian School, Dr. Stephen Simpson, who recognized Michael's potential in their first meeting, and along with their administrators at Briarcrest, agreed to provide him with life-changing opportunity as an education at their school. Briarcrest agreed to admit Michael as a student, and upon receiving satisfactory grades, allowed him to participate in their sports program. So it wasn't the Tuohys. It was a guy named Tony Henderson that did it.
Yeah.
And in September,
yeah.
Yeah, and in September 2003, Michael's junior year, Michael began playing sports at Briarcrest. From the beginning, he excelled. He made first string for the Tennessee All-Star game in both football and basketball. Wow. And was selected to play. They didn't say any of this in the movie. None.
No. They made him look like an idiot. Like a scared, incompetent boy.
Yeah.
And that's why I think this is so weird. Like I've been obsessed with this for a week.
I know.
Okay. And I watched that movie so many times because I really liked that movie. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a great story. Listening to hearing this, and then listening to Michael Oher himself talk about this, it is like you have to rewire your brain into just saying like, oh, well, that was just like an adaptation of his life. Like there are bits and pieces that are true, but not everything. Like it's not all true.
It's 90% not true. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Like 90, look, and it was selected to play in the Army All-American Bowl his senior year of football. It was clear that Michael had size, power, and speed and ability. Michael was on his own at Briarcrest and nearly penniless. It took an hour bus ride from walking from Hunt Village to Briarcrest. During his 10th and 11th grade years at Briarcrest, 2002 until 2004, Michael often stayed at the home of his grandfather, Quentin Franklin, and he had other benefactors as well. So he was doing it on his own. Like it seemed like in the movie that they just put him in there when he went to the Tuohys, but he didn't. He was making it on his own.
Yeah. And what's really sad about this too is that in this filing as well, I think it says that he was taken from custody from his mom when he was 11 or something. And he fell through the cracks of CPS, and he was like, just, his mom wasn't his legal guardian anymore. At the time, it was CPS, the DHS, not Homeland Security.
Once again, all those letter agencies are garbage.
Yeah.
They don't care. They really don't care.
And they're like, oh, well, he just fell through the cracks of it. Like, that's no big deal. That's freaking huge. Like, too. It's was like whole thing is just like a miscarriage of justice. But I wanted to bring up, so a few days ago, the Tuohys themselves said that they fully intend to terminate his conservatorship. And this is coming out of NPR, so let me just pull this up real quick. So it says, after 19 years, the Tuohys say they plan to terminate Michael Oher's conservatorship. So during a news conference in Memphis this week, one of the Tuohy's attorneys, Randall Fishman, said the couple intends to enter into a legal agreement to end the nearly 20-year conservatorship. If that's what Michael Oher wants to do is to terminate, then we are more than glad to do so. Or 37 petition, Shelby County, probate court, blah, blah, blah. We talked about that. So Oher alleged in the petition that he discovered in February of this year that legally he was not actually part of the Tuohy family. I think this is the biggest part right here. Is that it wasn't, he knew he was under conservatorship this whole time. He knew. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He knew. But it's the whole familial thing that he didn't know. That it doesn't mean that he's basically their ward.
Mm-hmm.
So
I take back the Colin Kaepernick thing. I apologize for that, because this is not. This is just so. This is worse. This is so much worse than I think anybody. This needs to be bigger than it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This needs to be a lot bigger than it is, because this is just so. This is so messed up on so many different levels. So many. This is like levels of what it goes from what to what the actual fuck. It just the whole gamut. The whole gamut. And I'm still stuck on incapacitated, and they got it through. I can't that's not leaving my head. Like, how this poor dude, like, and you read the petition, this guy was doing it on his own, and then you got a court to sign off that he was mentally incapacitated to do this. This dude was walking a mile or a couple miles to school already. Like, dude, I'm angry now. I'm angry now. I'm angry.
Well, their lawyer said that he got every dime he had coming. So they're trying to say, and then Steve Farsi, one of the Tuohy's attorneys, told reporters that the couple's finances outside of war were more than enough. He said, we don't need his money, or they didn't need his money. They never needed his money. See, this is okay. An earlier statement issued to NPR, Martin Stinger, who is the Martin Stinger, another one of the Tuohy's attorneys, said they are heartbroken over these events and that the idea of the family ever profiting from Oher is transparently ridiculous. The notion that a couple worth hundreds of millions of dollars would connive to withhold a few $1,000 in profit participation payment from anyone, let alone from someone they loved as a son, defies belief.
Bullshit. It's bullshit. Because if they loved him like a son, they would have adopted him, especially if you can adopt someone after the age of 18. That is a bullshit statement.
I don't know. I'll have to look up when that law came to be, because I don't know when it did.
But even so,
because this is what makes it really, like, weird, though, is because they're worth like $100 million. The guy owned franchises all over the place, like, and he sold his company. Like, so I'm not understand, like, the pittance compared to what Sean Tuohy was making already. I don't know. I just don't.
Wait, who was Michael Oher or the Tuohys? They had restaurants.
The Tuohys, what they were making. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing at all.
Yeah, and what's weird though too is that I think in one of Sean Tuohy's things like that came out, they're like, This has happened before where he's like done something like this and tried to extort them for like millions of dollars is what they've said before. And I was like, that sounds weird. And then they're like, it's just because he's got this book coming out. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it's weird because it's the whole accounting part that they never filed accounting paperwork about the finances, and that it took him almost 20 years to figure out that there wasn't a familial tie, but nothing else was amiss before then. See, like financially.
That personally, to me, I mean, I don't know how he feels or whatever, but personally to me, that's the biggest fucking kick in the balls right there. Like, you tell me I'm your son and then you don't adopt me or treat me as your son, and then you go and you make all this money kind of off it, and because it's I don't know if it's money, but like the whole notion of it, like, it's fucked up because you want to treat me like your son. You want to say I'm your son and whatnot, and then you don't acknowledge kind of it like that to me. I completely understand.
That's what we don't know. Like, what advice were lawyers giving them back in 2004?
Yeah.
Like, in their minds and in his, did they knowingly know putting him in a conservatorship at that time didn't give him a familial tie? And did they lie to him and say that it did? Or were they, because back in 2004, no one knew what no one ever heard what a conservatorship was until Britney Spears. So I don't know.
So here's part of a little bit more like on August 9th, 2004, petition states in pertinent part, in the best interest of Michael Jerome Williams Jr.,
which is Michael Oher. That's his real name.
So where did okay, will be served by this court granting unto the said Sean A. Toohey, his wife Leanne Toohey, and the full co-legal custody, guardianship, conservatorship of said Michael Jerome Williams Jr., that they shall have all powers of attorney to act on his behalf, and that said Michael Jerome Williams shall not be allowed to enter into any contracts or binding himself without the direct approval of his guardian/conservators. That the said Michael Jerome Williams Jr. will forth not be allowed to make medical decisions for himself, and that the said guardian conservator shall have full and complete authority to make medical and educational decisions on his behalf, and have full and complete access to his medical and school records in the same vein as they have been his natural parents and guardians. Wow.
I have to say, though, still, did they actually use it? Like, that's what we don't know. Like, was it actually enacted? Was he not allowed to make any medical decisions by himself? No, I'm being serious.
No. I just read something. I love when like words are read into like legal thing. The word chagrin is in here.
Yeah.
Michael discovered the lie, and to his chagrin and embarrassment. I just like when weird words are said. Like, if you read something in legal terms, did you call him an old fucking bastard? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And did you tell him to get his dumb, stupid, old ass out of here? Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
But to his chagrin. But yeah, dude, this really needs to be bigger than it is. It really does.
I know. Well, and the thing, we need to know more. Like, like, was it actually something that was used? Like, because you can think of like custody agreements or stuff that are in the legal paperwork in a courtroom. Well, what if the parents themselves decide to like change shit up and that's not in the legal paperwork and like just don't go by it? You know, it could be legally there on paper, but it doesn't mean that the people are actually abiding by it.
Like the accounting?
You know what I mean?
Like the accounting? Like the accounting stuff?
Well, like,
what if they made them
they should. They were supposed to file their financial stuff every year, and they didn't. First off, why didn't the county court? People who are in a conservatorship, like that shit should be locked down tight, and there should be someone on those people's asses at all times to make sure they are not taking advantage of people.
Like you think when you do your taxes, they should be like, okay.
I don't give the government $20 and they're like fistful up my ass. But you know, you put someone on a conservatorship and they're like, "Whoa!"
But not even that. How do they get away with it during tax time? Because you have to do a whole accounting for it, right? So then, how is that not part of the taxes that you're supposed to do at the end of the year?
Not that type of accounting.
No, I know. But still, they have to account for all that money, right? They have to tell you where all this money went. So, like, how is it not tied in? Like, how? Because when you do taxes, everybody who's under your umbrella, you're supposed to put and either use them as a dependent or not and stuff like that.
Right.
And you're supposed to. Like,
I wonder if they were using him as a dependent on their taxes. That's a good point. I wonder. And because they do have the conservatorship, it doesn't mean that they actually have to tell him that they're getting that information. Interest. Yeah. What if they were double dipping in the taxes? Michael Oher was paying his taxes thinking, oh, I'm doing my due diligence. But then the Tuohys were putting out their tax stuff too. The government owes him money.
The government owes him a lot of money. But yeah, like think about that. And I don't understand how the government just let that stuff like slip through. Like how does it? Because it's intertwined.
They're getting their money. Who gives a fuck, right?
Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Because like I said, if they're using him as a dependent, they can write him off and write off everything. So that's why I understand how the conservatorship, the money from all that and not knowing where all the money was, how are they able to write him off and write off everything and at the same time get all this? Like I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's in my head. It's the right way, but not coming out of my mouth.
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But yeah, because like you said, you misdo some on your taxes and the government. Like I think they're screwing me because of I'm supposed to get my taxes back soon. I don't know, but I'm getting screwed. I got screwed for the last year and something because I moved, and they were trying to figure out like what's going on between Jersey taxes and Kansas taxes. So it got screwed up in that way. Like 20 years. 20 years of this. Like I'm the math ain't nothing.
I'm just saying it's odd. It's just really odd.
Very odd. And the more you look into this, I mean, so it says that they each got $225,000 plus 2.5% on all future defined net proceeds in the Blindside movie, which grossed $330 million. Let's see. I don't know how they do it, but 300 million, I think that's it, times 0.25 or 0.025 equals $7.5 million they made on the back end. $7.5 million. And he's asking for 15 million is what it said in that thing.
Is that what he's asking for?
Yeah, it said that he was trying to shake them down for 15 million. Like, if the Tuohys are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, peel off 15 mil. You owe it to the guy. You owe it to the guy. You've had his balls for 19 years, and you can't peel off 15 mil. The poor guy was getting blindsided every day on the field and made 34 million for 10 years. Oh man, that hurts even more. That hurts even more. He's asking for almost like half of his NFL salary that he had to work 10 years for. And he's just asking for 15 million. Like, peel him off 15 mil. Come on. Jeez. I don't know. This is like I said, this is a rabbit hole.
It is. And it just, I feel like as much of a mess as it is, if we were just able to talk to them, it could be clear. It could, like, we could understand it a hell of a lot better.
Hey, Michael, give us a call. Michael, email us at businesspartynetwork@gmail.com. We want to talk to you and find out. I know the news will just clip you, but we won't. We'll let you speak. Say whatever you want, Mike. Come on. But yeah, I respect that he didn't go on. I don't think anybody should talk to the news, to be honest with you. I really don't.
No.
I'm glad he said no, because they're just going to cut it into whatever they want, whatever they want him to say or whatever. And but good for him. No, I'm not going to talk to you. Here's my lawyer statement.
It's like it's weird because, like, they've had it looks as though that they've had a consistent relationship for a while, right? And then the young SJ Sean Tuohy Jr. was on Barstool this week, basically saying that he knew that it was a conservatorship from the beginning, but I don't think someone knowing that it is a conservatorship and actually knowing what it means is two different things. And apparently in the conservatorship, it was waived that Michael would have some, like, conservator guardian or whatever that will help explain to him what that means. It was waived. So there was no one there to ever tell him explicitly what he was getting into. So he definitely was, for lack of better terms, and I know he was blindsided on this because no one told him what it actually meant to be a part of a conservatorship.
The name of that movie.
So then I guess everything that I was saying beforehand, that the Tuohys didn't know what it meant, then I was mistaken. It's called figuring it out as you go.
Everything about the name of that movie is perfect for Michael Oher's life. It is perfect because this dude was real. But then again, he was 18 years old. He had no idea. He just saw, I guess he just saw money, and, you know, looking back, you can say whatever you want, right? You can say, listen, 18 years old, you see dollars in your future, you see a future in something that you've wanted to be in. Like, I wanted to play football when I was a kid. When I was younger, I think it was my junior year, I went to a strength and conditioning thing with Nebraska, and they're like, well, you know, if you were 6'1", we would ask, you know, we'd probably try to sign you. And I'm like, I'm Puerto Rican, dude. I'm 5'8". It's not gonna I'm not gonna be 6'1". How about we still have a conversation? No. Sorry, son. But like, you see this like dream in front of you. Though. Yeah, well, Scottie Pippen's tall. What? Listen, Scottie Pippen had the greatest job in the world. He was Michael Jackson. Michael Jordan's number 2, and I think that's so much better because you didn't have the pressure as much pressure as Jordan. So you could just like sit back and just, you know, enjoy the greatness with him. But I mean, you're sitting there and you've got this like lifelong dream ahead of you, and you don't care how it happens.
I was thinking of someone else, not Scottie Pippen. I'm talking about
Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues. Yep.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl and good I would call her.
I was thinking about Muggsy.
But yeah, like, you have all this stuff ahead of you, and you don't care. You don't care because you're 18. It's like being 18 and having sex with a girl, and they're like, if you don't have sex with a condom, you're going to get her pregnant, and you're having sex without a condom, and you go, I don't care. Like, it's the same thing. You don't care. So I understand that, like, even if he had somebody to explain it to him, I don't think, I don't know. I'm not Michael Oher, but I don't think he would have cared. He saw his dream in front of him. He was going to fulfill his dream, and that was it. So, but the fact that it lasted so long.
He didn't know. I believe he didn't know what it was. I believe he thought that because even the Tuohys said themselves that there'll be their legal guardians, right? So the biggest part when we first start talking about this is in it. They're saying that it was in February of 2023 that he realized that what he was in did not mean that there was a familial tie, that he wasn't part of the family, that he basically was their ward rather than a legal part of the family. So it was under those that misrepresentation is why he signed and said, okay, put me in the conservatorship, because he thought it meant that it was another thing for like an adoption-ish type thing. They would be part of the family. That's the part that's fucked up, that he didn't know that there was no familial tie in that. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think we'll hear more about this. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I really do. I really hope. I really hope this sets a precedent, because this is just it's messed up.
Yeah,
it really is. It's really messed up. But with that, that was actually more deeper than I thought it was going to be. To be honest with you, that was. I didn't like. I started off with like, this is like Colin Kaepernick, and now I'm like, fuck the Tuohys.
Dude, girlfriend, I told you, I was like, we got to talk about this. And I knew you, I had a feeling yesterday when we were talking about it, you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I was like, he's got no fucking clue what we're about to get into at all.
Fucking idea. And now I'm just like, this is bullshit. Nobody should.
No, if you, honestly, I do suggest like those 2 links that I put in the description, go watch those, because those ladies do a great job. They go line by line through Michael Oher's petition to terminate the conservatorship, and they give their legal takes on it. We are not legal scholars at all. So
the only legal thing I know is I don't know. The only thing legally I know is I have no idea. But thank you for joining us.
Carpe diem, and then it's something about Latin. I guess it's
what?
law. But
I will show you the world.
What day? Today. So.
Carpe diem. What? DM's carpets in my DM? Sounds good to me. Anyway.
Why do you have denim carpets? That makes no sense.
Thank you for joining us this week, folks. We will, I would like, once again, we have to be prepared for the Jersey Shore. The Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Are you going to put the music on?
Are you gonna put the music on?
No, I'm not touching buttons. Nope, I'm not touching buttons anymore. Yes, we will do Jersey Shore.
I got a new background too.
Did you?
I'll show you later. I did.
Okay. That's so cool. I like that one. We want to give the Jersey Shore the proper, show that it needs, because that was our childhood. But this was, I mean, like I said 400 times through this episode, this needs to be dug deeper in every single person, because these people are capacitated. They know what's going on, and to be able to do this to somebody just because you don't like their lifestyle or something like that is fucked up.
Dude, this guy got done dirty more than like the kids that got adopted from Africa from the fucking celebrities, man.
Michael Oher got down. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, you can find me at MW Troublemaker on Twitter, and Just Davey on TikTok, Just Davey1. All the rest of my links are in my bio. You can catch us on Tuesday and Wednesdays on the Business Party Podcast at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. You can also catch Jackie, Jack, and Biz on Thursdays at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on 2 Jacks, 1 Scotch.
On Rumble.
And you can catch me on Fridays on the We Don't Know Either podcast. Last week was a trip. I have to say. That was...
I learned things I didn't know I needed to know.
I learned things I didn't want to know either. I mean, if you want to just...
Interesting.
If you want to just see me shut up for about an hour and just make faces, tune into last week's episode.
That's pretty much what it was. If you're like, wow, cool. I don't know why. In my head, I kept saying, gotta catch them all. Because it was like Pokemon to me.
The fact that her daughter wants to have a baby with an anime person is just beyond me. And listen, it is, people can do whatever they want, but the fact that she wants, some of the things she was saying about this anime person that she wants to, like, I whatever, to each his own, but you guys know this is not real life, right? But it is what it is. That's why it's called We Don't Know Either, because we have no fucking idea. It goes wherever it goes. And then you can catch us back here next Sunday. Back here next Sunday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Where, next week should be Jersey Shore, and we will hopefully do a good job by them.
If not, we'll let you know on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Sunday, and we'll come on and be like, well, we changed it up again, guys.
Listen, tune into the Business Party Podcast on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and we'll let you know what's going on. All right? Mm-hmm. But with that, we hope you have
you can find me on Twitter at Suburban Mama 1.
I thought I did your plugs.
Sorry. Suburban Mama, the number 1 on Twitter.
My mind is not here right now.
No, it's not. You gotta catch them all. I got it stuck in my head now. I can't. All right, y'all.
My mind isn't in gutter right now. Let's put it that way. Oh. claim, bitches.
Peace.